Hello everyone, this is Patrick from Hako & Co. We are filming today in our new video studio, so this is the very first video we are actually doing. Today we're gonna take you into a training session with a client of us and her dog Fynja. Fynja is a white shepherd and she has some uncertainty with things she cannot basically identify and interpret correctly when it comes to body language. So anything that's a little bit whooshy, gives her, some uncertainty, basically here and there. So in order to see, how she is and how close we can get, to some of these objects and triggers, we have taught her the Look at That game, from Leslie McDevitt. And we have used this in a training session with her, and how this worked, you're going to see now. So here you can see Fynja and her owner. The trigger is in walking distance of Fynja. So here we go to the second flag. She gets asked to look at the trigger with Look at That. She looks there, she looks back, she gets treated. We're doing this one more time. She looks at the trigger, she looks back, she gets treated, and we move on to the next flag. Just for information, the trigger is behind the fence, so there is no interaction possible between Fynja and the trigger. Same here, she gets asked to look at the trigger, she does, she looks back. So far, everything is pretty relaxed. So here the tree is the next marker. So here I've asked the dog owner just to move to the other side so we can actually see Fynja a bit better on what she's doing. Again, she gets asked to look at the trigger, she does, she looks back, and she gets treated. So then we decided to go one step further, and now you will be able to see the trigger on the right side, like a little bit of a ghost-like figure. Again, Fynja gets asked, to look at the trigger, she looks back, she gets treated. The ghost moves a little bit towards Fynja. Again, here you can see it becomes a bit more difficult, so the look becomes longer and it takes more time for her to look back. It's still okay. And this is the point where actually we are stopping the exercise. However, then Fynja decides to go closer. And you can see she's in a freeze here. She goes, in a bow towards the trigger, just to investigate. Then the trigger moves, and she has a small reaction. So then what I'm going to do is just go in between her and the fence, and bring her back in the position, that is a safe distance for her, with her dog owner.